sense of anything really, but do you feel like you have to overcompensate because you are a female in the science world?
If anything, it's kind of like the STEM program in general, especially engineering. But as far as sciences, like at least I feel like our campus is really diverse, so I feel like there is quite an even spread. If anything, I feel extra like I feel like I need to I don't want to say prove myself, but yeah, overcompensate, being like a minority or something. I feel like I have to prove myself.
I was gonna ask you about that. So so do you find that you have to overcompensate in different ways because of both things, or do you just, is it all just kind of this overall I just need to be the best ever, you know?
It's a constant thing with me. I'm always constantly trying to never have to ask questions because you never want to be like that kid. I do overcompensate because of it sucks, but just the image and view and a stereotype of certain things, and so I never want to feed into that. So yeah, I will stay up until 3 and 4 in the morning just so I can get a concept down, or just so I can feel confident enough on something. In college, I feel like it's so much more diverse, especially where we go. It's so diverse.
It is.
I never feel I need to stand out. It's more like I guess a personal thing.
Do you feel like the workplace that you're going into is as diverse as our college? And if not, do you think that because you went to such a diverse college, you'll have a better sense of confidence in yourself?
Being somewhere diverse is a great thing, because I feel like no matter where you go, you would have, we've experienced different types of people from different types of backgrounds, different types of or even just different personalities. Not everyone thinks the same way, not everyone works the same way. Some people are visual, some people are they need to do it themselves or kinesthetic, and so it's I feel like no matter what, it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
As far as my profession, I keep seeing that they're getting more diverse.
Right.
It's so much, which is great, both men and women, because I feel like a lot of the time, pharmacists, no matter if it's retail or compounding, I feel like usually retail and hospital, and it's usually majority women. And then whenever I go to nuclear or compounding,
mm-hmm.
that is ruled by, it's usually more men
mm-hmm.
there. But I've seen it mixing more hospital-wise. It's an even balance from what I've seen. So I think being in this setting would help my profession. What about in the arts?
Modern arts, today's arts, contemporary art, I feel like it's become more diversified, but there's still a conversation about people who are of color being more heavily represented
mm-hmm.
in shows, in different gallery showings and all that kind of stuff. It's still a work in progress, just like anything else.
I feel like if anything, the sciences, or the minority is the majority,
mm-hmm.
which is really cool, because I have friends who always mention that, how they're how the TAs that we have and stuff, they're usually from somewhere, it's from somewhere else,
right?
Which I think is so cool.
That is so cool. See, it's interesting because in the art world, what I've noticed is there is a lot of diversity. UNT has a lot of diversity. The artists have created their own little subculture,
mm-hmm.
and they're trying to make themselves as different from the other majors as possible.
Yeah.
And it's kind of oh, you're kind of going backwards. You're trying not to work with the science majors and engineering majors.
That's why I have mixed feelings about that new building that they're building, the creative space, where they want a place where majors can mix, and I always say that I'm always intimidated to go in the art building because it's all the hipster people are there, and stuff. And even when you came to the lab with me, you're I feel like I shouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So having that common creative space, I think that is important and cool. And then it goes back to diversity, not only with between races and religions and stuff, but between majors and interests and stuff, and just people in general.
As artists, recently we've been talking a lot about art as it relates to politics, and how those two things marry really well.
Mm-hmm.
But how would you feel you could marry art and science together?
Well, I think it's kind of what you were saying that one day that I was see, I'm not creative. I don't know what I'm I can't draw. I do stick figures and stuff. And how you even explained to me, you were that creative doesn't, like, there are different branches of creativity, and it could be like a different way of solving cancer or something. So, you know, so just even just using different types of staining to be able to dissect, or just kind of to compare and contrast like different types of organisms, like under microscopes. We stain things all the time.
So you're like working with these flies and stuff, and so it'd be interesting to learn about those flies and like what they do, what their function is, and then create some kind of art piece with them, but like that incorporates their meaning, you know? So like maybe if an artist was trying to make a statement about something, but like this particular fly could like be a metaphor for whatever it is the artist is working on. I feel like that would be a really cool thing to like integrate.
That is really cool, Sammy.
But like, unless the artist goes out of their way to find
research and stuff.
Right, and research, like you wouldn't know. So it'd be cool to have like a collaborative space where you can be like, oh, this is where a biology major can talk with an art major and like come up with this like piece or like an installation or something that like marries those two things together.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. Sweet. End of video.